So I want to talk about Atlanta FaZe's offenses on Hacienda. I'm actually just going to talk about their Hacienda in general, but first we're going to talk about their offenses in this game and the LA Thieves game, and then slightly go through defenses. Defense is a lot more easier. Defense is obviously just about map control, controlling top U, controlling their side. You have control of their side. It's easy to flank B, easy to get them off A if you just control like this portion. But it's more about their offense and what they're doing on this offense specifically, and how I don't think they gave Optic enough credit for doing their homework. I thought Optic did a tremendous job. Granted, this is a defense for Optic, but everybody knows how Atlanta FaZe plays this map, and I think this is also a product of scrimming Atlanta FaZe as many times as they have and just being very familiar. Because I remember watching scrims. Hold on. Just gonna move my okay, so like I remember watching scrims of them playing and how Shotzi very vividly called out how they play. I mean, everyone knows how Atlanta FaZe plays Hacienda control, but nobody was used to it earlier in the year, but now teams have caught up and they found ways to play against it, most notably Optic and LA Thieves. They could kind of get away with it against like the lesser skilled teams because they still kind of walk into the way that they play. But teams like Optic and LA Thieves, who play a lot more ratty, leave guys alone, because one thing Atlanta FaZe really wants to do. So I'm just going to explain to you what Atlanta FaZe likes to do on offense and how they found so much success on Hacienda control throughout the year, but now teams are starting to catch up to what they're doing. So Atlanta FaZe most notably runs 4 SMGs on this map. You could even see MC has an SMG right now. They usually run 4 SMGs on their offense, and their main objective on these offenses is taking control of this office area. And if they have control of this office area and like this plat area, you could basically control all the spawners. You can control B. You can basically control A here. Give them a deep spawn. They either have to take a long route, or they have to go chow you, or take a long route, or go down low bottom line. Not really something you want to do if you're the other team, having to take long routes and be able to control top plat, which gives you easy route to top U and everything, and to A. So that's how Atlanta FaZe found so much success, because they would be putting so much pressure on this office area and not allow the other team to push up the map, which would just give them close P2 spawns. And close P2 spawns means you have easier access and a shorter route to get right back there. So just be consistent pressure over here. That's how Atlanta FaZe found success on this map earlier. But now what teams are starting to do is they're starting to ignore them in the office now. They're starting to ignore them, and they're starting to vacate this space. And they're inviting Atlanta FaZe, most notably Optic and LA Thieves. Obviously, they may like challenge sometimes, but they allow them to have this space, and instead, on defense, these teams like Optic, LA Thieves, they just occupy like their side. And then every kill that they get, they're now delaying the pressure, because now they're pushed up on this side of the map. So now this P2 spawn is no longer a thing. You only get this P2 spawn on offense if the other team is not pushed past a certain point in the map. After the push past a certain point, you start to spawn deeper. Once they're pushed up past this point, that's when you spawn like deep driveway. So what Optic and LA Thieves have been doing now is just taking control of this side, riding this side, just wasting the clock, because like Atlanta FaZe is so used to being hard child up here, and now they're having to constantly look, and then they try to go on B. That's when teams go back to plat, or they just pinch them U, get them off the point. Can't really go on to A when there's a person occupying this side. It's really hard. So Atlanta FaZe didn't really have an answer to that, and I'm here to help them. I'm here to help them, but I'm also here to do analysis just of the game in general, of things you could do when the other team is now not falling into your trap of playing office, hard challenging you, giving you all the kills here, allowing you to maintain control of this, and they're starting to rat on your side. They're starting to play for spawners. They're starting to make the people that go over here, and you're going to see it multiple times during this offense, pretty much useless. Granted, Atlanta FaZe did have a bad start to this game, though. They did have a bad start to this game with this team nade right here. So he missed, but I mean, that's been happening a lot this year, honestly. It even happens to me sometimes. So he did him, he's laughing. And something I want to highlight, so like aBeZy for like a majority of this round only died like one time, and everyone on this team was dying multiple times, which tells me one thing. He was, I mean, I guess you could say doing a good job staying alive, but he was not doing enough and putting enough pressure and occupying enough people to help his teammates get out of the spawn trap that OpTic had on him, because OpTic was ignoring aBeZy. Like, they knew aBeZy multiple times was in their back spawn, but they would just leave them. They'd be occasionally checking their back, but they'd be playing for everybody else. And before you knew it, OpTic's up like 14 lives, which tells me one thing. aBeZy needs to do more to either get back, help his teammates get out, or a point I'm going to bring up later. I have it right here. I have to make sure I have it up. So right now they had a bad start because they had a team kill, and now Atlanta FaZe is doing exactly what we talked about. They're playing for Office. This could be an armchair quarterback thing, but based off the information that they got early in this round, so like, cause they got teammated, they kind of know OpTic's around here. They know there's a guy in you. So like, they basically know all of OpTic is pretty much occupying this side. This guy gets a close P2 spawn. He walks through P4. This guy already walked through P1. There's nobody around this area. That tells you all of OpTic's on this side. Could be a bit of a hindsight thing, but knowing they're on this side, and this gets to the point of what Atlanta FaZe needs to start doing when teams just aren't falling for their trap and they're playing tighter or they're playing ratty. You need to use the control point to your advantage. And I tell this to like a lot of people. When you have certain areas of the map under control, use that control point to your advantage, because right now they basically know nobody's in like their top mid, no one's in this top mid, no one's in P1, no one's on this side. Literally everyone's on this side. The only thing he could do is like flank all the way around well, but that takes a long time. But the initial pressure is all gonna come from like this area right here. Let me pull up the pen. They know now all of OpTic's on this area, so you call this a little bit hindsight, armchair quarterback, but it's not really hindsight because they basically cleared out everything. That basically tells you everything you need to know about what OpTic's doing on their initial breakoff. They're flooding this side. They're flooding the B side. So what this could tell me is that MC could straight up just hold this spot that he's at right now. Let me get my marker. He could basically watch this. aBeZy bottom U could easily hop on the point. They know no one's going to be bottom one because nobody died. And 7 could spawn in, and he could either go on this side and watch that or hop on the hill with them behind the fountain. They basically have A completely locked down because OpTic handed them the whole side. And they didn't do a good enough job reading the information that they got early in the round, that no one was occupying any of this area. All of OpTic was pretty much on this side. So that basically tells you, you could just post up here. This guy comes off spawn. He could either pick up this or hop on the point with him. You know no one's going to come back in bottom wine. Like, that's basically chalk. You know, the only time you have to watch your bottom wine is after you get kills and they're off spawn. But pretty much no one's fucking going to go there in the middle of the round. You basically know what now. Everyone's on this side. You have a guy bottom you. Like, you have 2 guys fucking bottom you. You literally have Draza and aBeZy down here. So, like, they could, like, Draza could stay fucking bottom you. aBeZy could hop on the point. Number 7 could help him. They could get some ticks. And what this does now is something you want to do, especially on offense when you're down lives. Use the objective. Obviously, you want to try to get some kills. Obviously, it's different depending on the map and the information that you have, obviously. Like, you don't just hop on the point when you have no info, no kills, no nothing. But if you have enough info to hop on the point and know, okay, we cleared out this and this, we have position to this and this and this, they can only come from here. So let's use getting on the point to draw them out, bring them towards us, get the kills, you know? So in this scenario, they basically had full control of A, but they didn't play off the info that they got. But yeah, you're going to see it's a common denominator in this round. So like MC pushes Office, don't really blame him for that because he knows all of OpTic's on this side. But they basically could have hopped on the A point here because now time's wasting. You have 2 guys bottom you doing nothing. Like, actually doing nothing. Like, aBeZy at that point, I mean, like, you can't really hop on it because everyone on his team's dying. Just a lot of individual dying. Like, that would have been the perfect time to do something as a team. Like, they had full control. A lot of teams have a hard time capping A because, like, it's so hard to get control of this side and everything all at the same time. But this is one of those scenarios very early in the round. Like, Optic actually, I thought, made a pretty grave mistake just giving them the whole side. But I guess they knew Atlanta FaZe was not going to play off of it, I guess. But, I mean, I don't even think they knew that. I think that was actually just terrible positioning, to be honest, like, from Optic. Granted, they had, like, the guy top U. Like, they had him top U who could easily flake open. But with the info that they got, they have top mid covered. They have U covered. This guy on a hill basically just has to get on the hill and just head glitch the fountain and just watch the top window. That's all he's got to do. And Optic has to walk into it. Like I said, they individually died. And now you could see, so like 8 got the spawn because they weren't pushed up enough, but now you see like a number 1's pushed up further. So now look at the spawn number 7. Yeah, he spawns a lot deeper. And now we're going to also highlight a BZ in this scenario. So they're aware of a BZ. Like, you see multiple times, like, they're like checking their back look, like they're like looking, like even 3's looking for him. Like, they know he's around, but they're not overly focused on him. They're not committing to him. Abizi's not drawing numbers away. They're using this as an opportunity now to like play for spawners now. And they keep him trapped in the spawn like a long time here. And I mean, like, the lives just start draining. Like, take a look at what Chauncey's doing. Like, Abizi's taking so long to like make a play. I mean, granted, he did go around the spawn here, and like this right here was a good play, but I'm going to show you something that is bad here. Not doing what I thought. So right there, he clears out the whole back, so now he hops on the point. MC gets the kill on the back. So now this is another scenario, just like the one at the beginning. FaZe basically has control of B. Basically, the only thing that they really need to be a concern of is plat, because obviously, like, you just walk through back 10, they're obviously going to come plat to escape it up. But this is another scenario. I'm surprised he actually didn't push him there too, but that's another thing entirely. This is one thing I don't think MC has to watch, like, the flank right now, but I don't blame him too. Like, obviously it's armchair quarterback. Like, I could see the mini map. He basically got the one pincher. If you double stack this point, there's quite literally not enough time for a fucking super duper flank. Quite literally not enough time. In this scenario, I thought Abizi and Draza should have just stayed on the point. Like, right now, like, you're down live. So now, this is where it also comes into account. So when you're on offense and you're down a good amount of lives, the last thing you want to do is start taking isolated gunfights, because that plays into the defensive team's hands, because they already have the man advantage. You're taking isolated gunfights, you're either going to go down or you're going to get traded or something. But I mean, like, not get traded, but taking isolated gunfights, like, the percentage of taking isolated gunfights when you're already down to like a lot of lives, you could just be dying separately with no trade to kind of keep the lives like within a certain you know, gap of each other. So taking isolated gunfights, I'm trying to talk too fast now. So taking isolated gunfights is just not ideal here. So what they could have done, again, is use the control point to their advantage. They basically know Optic, off spawn, going to play for patio. You got 2 guys on the point. I mean, obviously they have nades and they have studs that they could throw, but just play the point. Like, all he has to do is just walk up to like the wall at this point. He could shoulder just to see if there's anyone on the backside, but he could basically play the wall. And if this guy plays defense, they literally have to like walk on you. They literally have to like jump on the point to cancel it out. Like, make them come to you, play trades, because something you want to do when you're in a man disadvantage on offense, most of the time when you have control of a point and the other team has to flood on you and you're trading, most of the time you actually out trade them, which means you not only maintain the live discrepancy to a certain amount, but most of the time you actually get like a kill in your favor. So it actually goes down a little bit in your favor. So by the end of these trades, it could end up being like 23 to 27, you know? It like stays somewhere in there, or 23 to 26, you know? I don't know why I said 27. There's obviously all 4 of them up. So they could probably go to like 23-25, you know? And all of a sudden it's a 2 live game, and 2 live games are honestly nothing, to be honest. But what they should have done, aBeZy should have never hopped off this point, because Optic read that shit instantly, and like they just got him off. And now individual dying over here, you dying. All the guy in U has to do too, like 2 guys on the point. MC should honestly be watching you. Simp, if anything, should be pushed up prone where he can't get shot from top U. Just prone right there. He gets to watch this. And they have 3 guys on the point. If they hop on it, crossfires. You got 2 guys behind like the fence on this side. So if Simp dies, they could easily slide out Chow. AR, angle, like the U there. Like he has like the whole pinch, you know? Or at least even 2 guys. Make Optic now flood on you, because it's so early in the game. Optic's not just gonna like let you have it. They're gonna chow it. So you could actually get all 4 of them down and probably maintain like at least 1 life. So right now it's like 22, but imagine you get all 4 of them. It's now 25-22. Doesn't look as bad, you know. Or honestly, if all of them are there, you probably at least get 23. It's probably like 25-23 at this point, and you probably get B, or get a lot more ticks, but just like a lot of individual plays. And now Optic is very aware of Atlanta FaZe flooding off his side. That's something that they like to do. Mercules goes for it instantly, and he, like, gets that kill. Knows there's another guy going around the back, and so this is what I appreciate that Optic did. They weren't so focused on like everything going on here, because something I see with like a lot of like the lower teams when they play like Atlanta FaZe, they're actually playing for all of this, which is basically what Atlanta FaZe like wants you to do. But you have Shotzi in spawn playing for spawn kills over here. Granted, like, you didn't get anything, but that stuff goes a long way, and that was a great read from aBeZy. So it's like aBeZy gets this kill right here. So now I just want to like talk about what Optic does here so well. So obviously Simp gets a kill top U, because obviously Optic's still trying to like get them off the point, which is the point of getting on the objective. You bait people towards you, but then Simp loses that gunfight. And notice they're still looking for that, but they're also playing for spawners as well. Like, they're playing for the time because obviously they want to get off of it, but they're so focused on, like, they're not even trying like to get aBeZy. The only people going for aBeZy are literally the people off spawn. But I want you to take a look at this right here. So now they know aBeZy's in their spawn, and this is where aBeZy needs to do better to help his team. But I don't think he knew that they were completely ignoring him and just readjusting. Like, I don't think Atlanta FaZe is used to that. Like, they're used to just like all the activity, all the pressure they have up here. Like, the other team almost plays around them and makes the game easier for them. They're like, I've always like said this, like, they hate it playing against Shotzi. Obviously they did a great job countering in MW3 because they kind of left them alone, and now they're kind of getting a slice of their own medicine from Optic themselves. Like, now aBeZy's basically Shotzi in MW3. He's in the spawn. All of Optic's like, fuck that guy. Like, we don't fucking care about him. The only person worried about him is like the guy off spawn. But everyone else, take a look what everyone else is doing. They're making it so hard for them to get out. And like, they know like aBeZy's coming back, but take a look at everyone. They're just fucking getting kills here. It makes it so hard for like Atlanta FaZe like to get out. And now take a look at the lives. It's 22-14 now. And now look, number 3 is already on a pinch again, because this is all you got to do, especially when it's A left. You literally just need control of their side. And now in scenarios like this, I kind of feel like, I mean, granted they are like 2-2 split, so they are like together, but I kind of feel like all of Atlanta FaZe needs to just work one side of the map together, even if Optic realizes what you're doing. Like, at least you could sort of take control of his space. You probably end up getting some kills because you can anticipate that they're going to anticipate where you're coming from. Take control of his side. That way it's not an unknown variable anymore. And then, like, so look, all of Atlanta FaZe started like working this. I mean, I'm not saying like all 4 of them to sprint this together, but like 2 guys go here, 2 guys maybe hold the pinch, or like 1 works mid. Let me get out my thing for this. So like if they send like 2 guys like down this way, and then there's like a guy holding and a guy like around this area with them, and they just kind of like hold it like this, you're at least closing down this half of the map, and now you basically know OpTic's like on like this side. Like that's how you should be like working together as a team, especially when you're down so many lives. Granted, being down like this many lives happens to every team. I mean, like you can't play every offense perfectly, happens, but it's still possible to win. You just need like one good wave of kills and you're pretty much like, you know, that's why you need to work together. You can't be dying isolated, because that's what OpTic would want. That's what any team on a defense would want, is for you to play isolated. It just makes it way easier for them, especially when they have the man advantage. You're dying separately. Just makes it way easier on them. Like no trades there. Like all of Atlanta FaZe is like a very split. Granted, they are playing a pretty good setup, but I kind of feel like it needs more. Purpose, because he's playing mid. Not really the best spot to get this guy if he's fucking pinching open. But I do kind of like how they are watching each other's back. They pretty much have everything covered. The only person there would probably be like a BZ. Like a BZ should probably be like somewhere inside with them. But it is a pretty good setup, honestly. After seeing it, actually, it's like not that bad of a setup. But you got to think what OpTic's going to do. They're going to have a person on the pinch, but then everyone else is not going to play into your cards at all. Like they're going to wait for you to wait for you to fucking make a move. So OpTic has Shotzi playing fucking bottom line, which I thought was a great play, because it's like such a day one spot and no one's just going to believe. And then they already have a guy on the pinch and they have a guy holding P4, just fucking playing it patient. But I think Draws actually does get him. But like you're going to see right here, like Merc pulls on the pinch and MC actually fucking turns on him right here. And then like Liddy number 1 gets that trade, and then Draza gets this trade. And then I want to talk about like this scenario right here. So they basically get 2 down. Simp gets the kill up top there. And now I thought Draza probably should have fucking like reloaded his fucking gun, to be honest. Like he had enough time to. But they basically got 3 down. There's one more guy, so they can hop on the point. This guy right here, I think it's a BZ number 6. Definitely probably should have went up top, but he went down low to go closet you. I don't know why, when Simp was already like past you, like he's already top you, and a BZ's going down low to go up closet, like to get up top. It actually kind of makes no sense, bro. You can even like see his route here. Just go up the stairs. Like just go up the stairs. Instead, he goes down low, goes up top, goes through the closet. It kind of makes no sense. Now no one's there to like immediately help Draza. Draza kind of did rush it a bit, but they did have 3 down. All he has to do really is from the position he's at, dude. Like, so like right here, he can just hop on the point from like the exact same hop up spot he's at. This at least gives time for his team to come in and help him, like to stare right through the window. Like you see MC getting in this spot. So you got to think, if Draza's playing like that spot, this gives MC enough time to hop right up in the window, and he has his back fucking covered. Like I said, like they kind of rushed that. And now I want to highlight this. Everybody knows what Atlanta FaZe does. They play top office. They put a lot of SMG pressure on top plat. Simp just got the kill up there. Notice, nobody from OpTic is even fucking feeding that shit. Like, they're like, yeah, like we're going to go around. He's going around. Hook's going around. They're like, yeah, we're not even going to like go through that guy. We're just going to go back through fucking bottom line. Like, this guy's already getting kills on the P4 side. And all of a sudden, Simp is now useless. He's now just running around. He can't do anything because they made Atlanta FaZe useless. Atlanta FaZe not used to this. They're used to playing like the Bostons and the Cloud9s, who the second like they get them off spawn, they're going to chow them up top in office because they want the control. They're not used to teams not playing around to how like they play. So now Simp is just in no man's land. He's just now doing 3 fucking 60s. No idea where the fuck to look. Everyone just left them. They went to go isolate all of his fucking teammates. And now he's useless. And then he actually ends up dying up top. Hook wrapped all the way around top patio. Literally caught him in the back. And now the round's pretty much over. So something Atlanta FaZe needs to do better, because they had 2 opportunities early. Like, granted, like the 3rd time I talked about it, they're already down like 8 lives. Like, so like this scenario right here. So like this is actually a pretty good setup. I just didn't understand why he even had a flank around 10. Basically makes this guy playing up top you pretty much useless because the whole point is that everybody on this side is supposed to walk by him up top. So you going through here is pretty much useless. Like, if anything, you should be the guy going bottom you, maybe just poking on, seeing like your team has control of up top. This guy's there, like, like that's the easy kind of taking like some crazy routes. He needs to be more in this scenario because knowing where your teammate is here, pretty much all this is covered. You kind of just got to be you going on the point, maybe teasing, seeing what happens, going back, fucking checking or some shit. That's what you need to be doing. Or you need to be like up top, or you need to be up top. But him going 10, kind of useless. But yeah, but even like in this scenario, even like down so much, they got 3 down. Obviously the guys just off spawn. Now they have control of their whole fucking top side again. They got 3 down. They know the last guy's gonna be somewhere in this area. They got the P4 guy. Last guy's gonna be somewhere around here. It's Shotzi. They don't really know where he's gonna be. But then Draza kind of like rushes that, and then he has to like switch guns because he didn't like reload, and like no one's there to help him immediately. But yeah, and then they just completely ignore Simp up here. They're just like, yeah, we're just gonna leave him alone. But yeah, so like against most of the teams in the league, the way Atlanta FaZe plays Hossie is probably going to work, but I feel this is a strategy that could work against anyone. Playing more around the objective, using it as bait. Like, they're talented enough to use the point as bait to get them to come to you, slay him out, and then you could take the map control. Once you have the map control and the point control, then the other team has to play around how you want to play. But if you're not hopping on the point, they're just going to ignore you. They're just going to ignore you. All your map control is not going to matter if you're not doing, like, they wasted, there's a lot of dead time on this map. And granted, they're just getting outslayed this round, but there's a lot of dead time. There's a lot of route takings, searching, but Optic was already one step ahead this whole round, so I got to commend Optic for that. It looks like they really did their homework on Atlanta FaZe. Yeah, so that's like a great first round on Optic. Granted, it is a defense, and I don't really break down defenses because, I mean, the other team should most of the time be winning defense because defense is more advantageous. But on Hacienda, I mean, it could honestly go either way. But obviously, defense just automatically has the advantage because they have the time on their side. The other team literally has to hop on the objective. And I would say this A point, I mean, unless you have full control of like your top side and no one's behind you, it's a really hard point to cap. There's just like a lot of places like top window, bottom line, top flank, that like there's so many different angles, but it is pretty easy like to cover them after like you manage it. But I thought it was great from Optic how they didn't play around like how Atlanta FaZe wants to play with the top office control, so I thought that was great. Also kind of want to talk about how Optic plays their offenses, and coincidentally it's almost exactly how I talked about the previous round with Atlanta FaZe on things that they should do, but I think Optic does it on another level. Like, the best way I could describe Optic, for those of you who get this reference, it's like prime Jurgen Klopp Liverpool. It's like super pressing, rock and roll fucking football. Like, that's Optic. And I'm gonna get more into that like as like the month goes on, when we get into like the hard points, so you guys can really know what I'm talking about. But they play rock and roll Call of Duty. Like, we've heard even Study on the broadcast say hero ball, but this is another level. It's not sustainable in the long run, but when they're doing it as a team, it's very hard to play against. It's very chaotic. Atlanta FaZe honestly had no answer to this, so I mean, I'm just gonna start from the beginning of the round. I'm actually paying attention. Holy cow, I was just talking. It's like prime Jurgen Klopp Liverpool. It's like Hansi Flick Barcelona. Like, they play a very high line. It's very risky because if it goes wrong, then I mean it can go wrong, but it has a higher success rate than a losing rate. But obviously you see when they play the better teams, I mean, most of the time they just get shut down. But notice how instantly they're hopping on the point. They're not really scamming too much. They're making Atlanta FaZe push this point. They're making them push their point. They're making them commit to this. And Atlanta FaZe now overcommitting to B now This one I'm gonna do in green because I mean, like we're talking about Optic. Now, Atlanta FaZe overcommitting to B now leaves all of this open, and you're just gonna see how they just keep going for points, going for points. They get enough information, like they don't spend the whole round trying to look for Atlanta FaZe. They're just constantly getting on the points, making like Atlanta FaZe go to them like right now. So they basically use that one as bait. So they hopped in the point. Atlanta FaZe cleared it, used this to get map position, and now take a look what they do with the map position. So like now they get more kills on the point now. And now take a look at what everyone has to do. Everyone has to start moving. Now they're just playing like for instant cover, and you're just gonna see how this plays out. Look, like literally Atlanta FaZe is so scattered the whole round because they just keep getting on the point. They have to keep looking. Players get lost. Now you have to look for them because you know they're nearby. Instantly off spawn, where do they go? They sprint right back on the point. Like, don't even waste any time. Look, they just both ran through like bottom P1. They're instantly back on the point. Like, they have a guy patio, and this guy's about to pick the P4 side. I'm sorry to see on all the time. And look, like they get enough progress. They basically draw Atlanta FaZe to it. They hop off it for a bit. They take some map space. And look, now they get more kills. They use the objective to draw Atlanta FaZe in. Now look, they got drawn over there. Now B's wide open. They out trade them on B. Now they're about to get B. And look how they're double stacked, and look how they're not doing too much. They're not pushing 10. They're just double stacking it. Because when the tick's moving fast, the defense team literally has to go. Like, they literally have to go. There's no time to waste. I guarantee if, like, number one was, like, a Bezia, and I never... It's actually so funny. Like, we talk about Hook a lot, but, you know, he actually can play discipline. Like, usually whenever people associate Hook, they associate it with brain-dead plays, not thinking too much. But he knows exactly what he's doing in this game. Sometimes it may not look like that, but honestly, over 90% of the time, like, he definitely knows exactly what he's doing. Look, they're double stacked. The point's moving so fast. 6 has to commit, has to chow. They get one. They trade it out. Instantly hop on it again. And now Atlanta FaZe has to go for it. And now look. Now Atlanta FaZe has to go for the point. And now look what that leaves open. All this space. And look at the space that OpTic's going to occupy from now drawing. Using the objective to draw players in. Draw players in. Leave space open. That's the name of the game. And Atlanta FaZe was not doing enough of that, especially when they realized exactly... I'm not even sure if they even realized it that whole round, like what Optic was doing. Like, Optic was occupying like their side. And Optic didn't have to do anything because Atlanta FaZe could not get on the point. Abizi was spending way too much time roaming around. Like, and Optic literally just on their side. They're just fucking waiting. It's so funny. Like, I didn't even watch this round before... making the video for, like, the other round. And obviously, like, we're, like, days removed. So, honestly, like, a lot of this map's, like, a blur. But watching it back, basically, Optic's doing the exact same thing I implored Atlanta FaZe should do. Like, after, like, they got B and, like, they had to get A. Just want you to take a look at, like, the shape that Optic has here. So it's basically almost exactly what I was talking about in like the first round of like what players should do when like you have like no info and you have to cap a whole entire point. Granted, like they already have a tick on it, which is great progress. Take a look at like the shape they're taking. They're getting space on this side. They're playing for kills on this side, and the second they get control of this side, they're going to they're literally going to hop on the point. But they're all moving in, like, the same area. It's not, like, a 2-2 split like Atlanta FaZe did. Like, honestly, Atlanta FaZe had, like... They had, like, this guy. They had a BZ going over here for no reason. And then they had, like, a 2-2 split. Which I didn't mind the 2-2 split. But that's just, like, 2 split. You guys should all be working one side of the map together. Drawing the players into you. Because they're going to be pinching the second they realize, like, where you are. Use that to your advantage. Use them getting the info on you to your advantage. And just take a look at the shape Optic has and take a look how this plays out. So they all start occupying that side. 2 guys already pushed up. 6 was getting a bit antsy. They get 6. Notice how they're moving along this side. Draws gets that kill, but it doesn't matter because take a look who's close by. And look, they're all like grouping, like they're all moving together. Like this guy's able to get a kill, but take a look, they're right back on the point. And just them being on the point. And note, this is like the difference between like Optic and Atlanta FaZe, and I don't blame Atlanta FaZe for this at all, because a lot of times you can just throw lives doing it, but hopping on the point when you basically almost have no help is a pretty brave thing to do. It's a pretty brave thing to do, and I don't blame Atlanta FaZe and other teams for not doing it. But just take a look at what happens when like you take risks like this with your rock and roll Call of Duty and you do it. Look, so like he's on the point. Just take a look. It just draws players away from now having to play for cutoffs. Because imagine if like 3's not on the point and he's just roaming up here. Number 7 probably playing for cutoffs here. Playing for cutoffs, playing for spawn kills, keeping the pressure away from the point. But now look, draws them away. This leaves space open for Optic now to push through. They trade this guy. Now they have control of this. Simp actually gets a great kill here on the bait switch. Even who fucking couldn't believe it. He's like, what the fuck? He actually got that kill. Yeah, but then look, so like even like number 6 comes in, but it doesn't matter. Look, they're just hopping on the point. They're just drawing Atlanta FaZe in. Like they're just not even afraid. Look, if they literally get a couple kills, they don't even waste time. They don't look for anyone. They're hopping on the point. They're just fucking looking around. Atlanta FaZe was literally tweaking this whole round. They weren't used to anybody playing like this. They're so used to teams playing for kills, playing for like full information, and then hopping on the point. But this is just an example of just getting on the point and see what, like, rock and roll Call of Duty. And you know, it is very entertaining to watch. It is very, it's very commendable, like, to see Optic doing this. It's very commendable, and seeing it pay off, because if it didn't pay off, it would just be stupid. But seeing it pay off, it's just a testament to like the talent on that team. I mean, honestly, because Atlanta FaZe does not play control like that, where they just constantly fly on the point and then just play for like fucking whatever direction they think they're coming in. But you can tell Atlanta FaZe was not ready for that at all. But that's definitely something for Atlanta FaZe to learn to adapt to. On defenses, I mean, there's not really much you could do when a person's on the point. It's just all about fucking getting the kills and taking like the map space. But just knowing who you're playing against, like knowing you're playing against Optic, they have a lot of individual pushes on the hill, using that to like draw you away from power positions for other players to take space. Maybe sometimes you have to be a little bit more patient, and if people are on the point, unless they're 3 stacking it, just wait for like the other pressure that's coming to take the space that you're not going to occupy anymore. Yeah, but yeah, there's definitely like defense is a lot easier. Defense is a lot easier. It's more about getting kills, taking place, especially on a map like this. Playing for spawners actually goes a long way. If there's like 2 guys on a point, but the other 2 guys can't get anywhere near to help them, then it's a lot easier to manage, you know? A lot easier to manage. So I feel like on Hacienda defense, there should just always be a person around the spawn occupying. If you're at least occupying 1 guy, you're basically leaving your team in a 3v2, 3v3, which isn't bad at all. And then if they ever die, you can backtrack from the backside, and it's easy trades. So, I mean, there's a lot of different things I could say about it, to be honest. But I'm just going to play a couple examples from that defense for like Atlanta FaZe. Obviously, every control map is different, but it's all basically under like the same. It's all under like the exact same point. Damn, my wire was cut. So you're gonna see Atlanta FaZe here. Like they get 1, and then Simp's gonna get another here. So like now they have 2. So it's exactly how Optic that last round when they're on the B control point, they drew Atlanta FaZe away. I think at this point Atlanta FaZe knows there's gonna be people have spawned. They're gonna be P2. They're gonna flood like the top. So either number 8's gotta read it, or number 7 should be proactive and like actually start playing for spawners. But I think because like his teammate died there, he obviously felt obligated to help. So I mean, I don't blame him. But this just left top mid like wide open, and now you can't really like keep track of the players here, and that's where it all started. Because the second Merc was able to get in top plat, like that's when it was like pretty much over from there. And like things just got way too chaotic. And so this also leads into the other thing is draws right here. So what you're doing with the map space once you get it. So he goes all the way around well side to pinch. So he's gone. He's gone. He looks and sees nobody's here. MC gets a kill, and then I believe like 4 start shooting, and then a person dies. If I'm him, there's not really any immediate pressure. Obviously, if like your teammates die, like that's a bad thing, but you could easily trade for that by getting some kills off spawn, because the fact that OpTic's getting kills, it means everyone off spawn is going to be sprinting to try to come in and help, and they're not going to be like that focused on you. So playing for spawners here, like I know I've done it sometimes, like when I play this map, like I know we have like 2 down, there's only like 2 like around like the map, and then there's like 2 off spawn, and like a lot of times I'm thinking, yeah, like my teammates fucking got that, they could like trade them out, I'm gonna keep the pressure away from them. So even if like they do get like 2-piece, it's still gonna be 3v2s off spawn all the time, as long as I'm doing my job keeping these people in spawn. I'm not saying keep them in there forever, but he was already in a position where he could have just played for these 2 spawners and still had enough time to go all the way back and help. Like, yeah, like he gets like the trade, but now take a look at 3 and 2, exactly like we watched in the video. They just fly up, and he's not expecting it because he had the map control, but then ran all the way back. That's being counterproductive. If you're gonna take a route all the way around well, like to get to this spawn, you better use it for something. You better not use it to backtrack all the way back, because then you're just doing a fucking circle for no reason. And then I want to talk about, there's another thing later in the round I want to talk about. So right now OpTic's has 2 people on the points. You kind of got to push that. There's just another scenario in here. Oh yeah, it was like this one right here. So like obviously we talked about the positioning. I mean, if I'm MC, I'm probably getting that kill and I'm sprinting back. Granted, 3 actually climbs up and looks, but you gotta go help 6. You gotta go help 6. You gotta go that way. They can't be P2, and this is probably just a lack of communication. I mean, there is a possibility, like if they spawn driveway, they go all the way around, but I mean, are they really doing that? Like, come on. And especially if you know where your teammate is, like, because your teammate's like right there in that corner, they're spawning deep there. Like, would they really take a route all the way around, or are they gonna try to go through mid or that side? If your teammate is on this side, like then they spawn like on that side. But and now like number 6 gets ISO'd. 8 is like trying to search for 2 people, but they're already over here just doing shit. And then this is pretty much what opens up like the round at this point. Atlanta FaZe on this offense tried now to do what OpTic was doing, and you could see just how uncomfortable they are doing it, but it was going pretty well, and you guys could actually see like the benefits. Like for a good portion of this round, like they were trading, and like the lives were even, and they were getting ticks, which is exactly what you want when you're on offense. You're evenly trading numbers, and you're also getting ticks as well for maybe a potential 5-5 defense. But yeah, like as you can see, they're like on like the point. It draws attention away from Office. He's able to get a kill. Granted, like they got picked there, or I mean like they just like died there. But take a look at what hopping on the point does. It just makes people like commit, and it just leaves space. It just leaves fucking a lot of space for your team to fucking push up and get kills and get trades and get right back in the fight. And it leaves the team like no opportunity to reset as well. So now I'm gonna highlight like some opportunities over here that like Atlanta FaZe has. So like MC gets the first kill. Right here, he's probably like good enough to hop it. He's probably good enough to hop it and stay on it. So like after he gets that first kill, now you know it's only 3. And now like your teammates are starting to come. So you literally have a teammate that now can pick up your U. There's another one coming. He could easily pick up your top, which means you could basically just go in like the left corner and just watch bottom line. Like in this position again, OpTic's all on this side. You know there's obviously going to be like a person off spawn, but like instead he goes roaming for that kill. He dies. Another individual death. So right now they're doing a lot of individual things now. So now he's hopping on the hill now after his teammate dies. Not the same as when OpTic does it. Like right now he has no info, no help, no nothing. Number 6 not helping him. Just hopping on the point because like they saw how it was working for OpTic, so they tried doing it. But OpTic was doing it at good times. They were actually picking their timings. Even if players from Atlanta FaZe were up, like they kind of knew where they were when they were hopping on it, and they just drew him into a gunfight. But right there he's sliding for that. So Udraza gets a kill. He knows there's a person over on the B side, but like once again, like some individual shit dying over there. And even number 6 right here had an opportunity. So after Simp hops on the point, he dies. So like a Beasley gets his trade. Like right now, this is a perfect time to hop on it. You have a guy top you basically got 2 guys out of mid, draw him off. But I mean, he's playing for spawn kills, but I mean I don't really blame him. I mean there's 40 seconds if you honestly get some spawn kills and your team comes in, I mean it's not that bad. But then once again, so like Simp right here is another thing. Everything's happening so quick. It's like one thing after another. So now on this side, I kind of feel like you got to trade with like your teammate here. You either got to trade with them or both of you guys have to go a different way, because he's like going his way and then he leaves them and then he dies. No trade. Now he's flying up the map. OpTic already has space in their spawn. Now he's like not even helping now. It's exactly like a BZ on like the first round. Sometimes you gotta help your team out of spawn. Instead, he dies individual. Now he gets put in the back spawn when he actually probably he either could have like wrapped around or just like, you know, they actually both could have went that way. You know, there's so many things that he could have done like to help. Because you know how OpTic plays. OpTic doesn't even matter. OpTic doesn't even care how many people are actually alive. Like they'll go play for spawners all the time. And now they're pretty much all pinned in spawn, but they're able to break out because, you know, they work together. Like that was a good kill, and now they're all flooding through, but now OpTic knows exactly where they are. And that's another instance where like they hop the point. It's only one guy on the point. And I know 8's concerned about not only dying on the cross, but he also has angles on like on top patio, but there's 9 seconds left. Like you kind of need the tick. Now it's pretty much over from here. So I think that was very uncomfortable. I think playing like that's very uncomfortable for FaZe. I think they're a team that loves just having map control and slang out and hopping on objectives when it's actually safe to. They're not used to like the chaotic style that OpTic's bringing to the table. So definitely some things to work on for like Atlanta FaZe is if you do have control of their side. So I guess let's talk about offense first. So when you have offense and you have control of their side, you need to be more decisive. You need to do things that's going to help even the odds and take pressure away from your team that's spawning back if you're not going to go help them. You have to act fast. You have to hop on a point. Obviously, you have to like clear things out. You don't just hop right on a point. Like, you're not going to hop on a point when like all your team's back there, obviously. But if it's like A left, like wrap around, like help your teammates, pinch the spawn or something, or go play for kills instantly. Don't get trapped in areas where you're just searching for 20 seconds, because chances are if you're searching for that long, they're not even trying to find you, you know? They're not even trying to find you. They're not looking for you. They're leaving you alone. So you need to be more active in like that sense. And also, so like the first like half of this round, so like the first half of this round where like Atlanta FaZe was starting to hop on points more, baiting OpTic into things, it was working out. They just didn't like get the trades like at the beginning of the round. Like if they had like the trades over here on B. So, And like you need to help the team right away. So like he gets that kill, he should be hopping right back on the point. But obviously I'm pretty sure he like does. But he takes a long time right here, like honestly, to get back on the point. But this is what happens. But they basically just lost like the trade battle there. But because like Simp got wallbanged pretty much earlier. But like if you're Atlanta FaZe and you ever do get map control, use that map control to just hop on the point. Like sometimes just like zonal mark an area and just roam around the area and then allow your team to like push on the point, and then you can operate off of that, because like these power spots mean nothing when the other team's not looking for you. Like they're basically just spaces on the map at that point. So like I already talked about MC. I mean, he's going for spawn kills, but that guy's like 10 seconds off spawn. But and then they just hop like the points at the wrong time. Like 6 needs to be in a position to be helping a number 7. Right now he's playing for spawners 2. OpTic's already up. Like OpTic's like long up, which means they're not keeping track of kills. Like they're long up, and yeah. And then when it comes like to defense, Atlanta FaZe needs to, if we're talking about this map specifically, if you ever have like 2 down, or even sometimes even 1 down, and you're like on their half, like play for that guy. Play for that guy sometimes. Unless there's like a 3 stack or a 2 stack going on, sometimes it's nice to play for that, because then it forces the other team to have to like hop on a point or do something, because you can't just keep allowing your teammates to get trapped in the back of spawn. But I'm not that worried about Atlanta FaZe's defense. I'm sure defense is something that they could easily, I mean, all depends on the day. I mean, OpTic just hit them with like strategies they've never seen yet in this tourney. So, I mean, that's fair play to OpTic, fair play to like their gameplay. I'm gonna go through like their hard point sometime this week, so you guys could actually really know what I mean when I say rock and roll Call of Duty. I mean, you guys already got a big sense for it in this control.